It's Thrifty Pedal Thursday! Howdy folks, welcome to episode number 3 of Thrifty Pedal Thursday, the series where I'm looking at budget guitar pedals that I buy off of the interwebs. And thank you, by the way, for clicking on the video. I sure do appreciate it. And if you have not watched the previous 2 episodes, there's probably going to be 6 or 7 in this series, the first part of this series. Then I'll take a little time off of it, and then I'll probably do it again. It just depends on how these videos do. So by all means, please subscribe, ring the bell, all that. Anyway, so what are we looking at this week? Well, the first week we looked at a preamp kind of overdrive Fender-y thing, the Americana from Cowline. Last week, it was a chorus pedal, the CH3 from NuX. And oh, and by the way, the Americana, I'll be using it again this week as the preamp to go into my interface. And I'm going to put this week's pedal in front of it, and we'll see how it sounds. So let's get to it. What is this week's pedal? We have from Mugig, Mugig, M-U-G-I-G. I love trying to pronounce the names of these, but this is it. It is the Reverburg, and it's a reverb pedal. And reverb is a very underappreciated guitar effect. I mean, everybody loves it. Most people like to use it. I know a lot of genres may not, especially in metal or what. However, most people like to have a reverb pedal, and let's face it, not every amp you buy is going to have reverb on it. I mean, I love my Hot Rod Deluxe, and it's got that classic Fender spring reverb built into it, and it's sweet and luscious, and I love it. But I've got my Marshall Origin 50 head over here. There's no reverb in it. There's just not. So for that, I've got to use some form of it, and I've got a few options. I've got an old what is that? I've got an old Reverb 2 sitting over here in the rack. I could use it. I have a Digitech. What is this? Polera, something like that. I've got it. I've got reverbs. However, it's always nice to play around and find good sounding reverbs. Now, is this a good sounding reverb for under $40? Probably not, but let's give it a try and see. In the interest of time, I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. There are really, to begin with, 3 main things to know. The first one has to do with this right here, the tone knob. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it other than to show you that it basically really doesn't do anything. That's it. I couldn't really hear much of a difference. Maybe you can. My old ears, maybe. But if there's a difference, it's so minor. I don't see the point. Uh, issue number 2 is here. 3 selections. Room, well, let's see. Yeah, room, spring, and shimmer. Now, you heard the shimmer there at the beginning, and it does an okay job. Between the room and the spring reverb, not really a whole lot of difference. It sounds basically like the same reverb. The spring, just if you take the mix knob and the decay knob down a little bit, it's the same reverb. It's the same thing. Not a big point to have the two of those. So to me, it should just be a 2-position switch, a reverb and a shimmer. So that's point number 2. And the other thing is, you're going to get most of your variations on this between your mix and your decay. The mix up here, the decay down here. Roughly, once you set exactly how long you want the trails to last, or trails or whatever you want to call them, the reflections, if you will. Once you have that set, then you're just going to play with the mix. And the biggest thing to note is from 0 to halfway up, you're adding reverb to your guitar signal. From about halfway up the rest of the way, you're kind of taking your guitar signal out of the reverb and you're getting more reflections than you are the actual pick attack of each string. So that's worthy to note there. So I'll give a few sound samples and just show you what I'm talking about. So like I said, I'm gonna just leave the tone in the 12 noon position and not bother with that. I'm gonna have it in the room position. I think that's just as good. I could put it in the other one. Again, it's just changing what's happening here. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have decay about 2 o'clock. The biggest thing here is at noon or below, you have relatively brief reverb. It's a very short reverb, and it doesn't really start to fill out until you get above there. And then, well, we'll see. Let's start about halfway up. So I'm going to turn this on, and I'm just going to play some chords. Got it on. Kind of short, but let's turn it up to about 2 o'clock. So you're starting to hear a little bit more reverb. Let's go ahead and take it to 3 o'clock. It's not the smoothest delay in the world, and in fact, I'm not too keen on it. It's just a little harsh sounding, a little too. Uh, I like a reverb that just kind of gently falls off, even if it's a shorter delay. When they just end, it's just not. It's not smooth. It's not my thing. Now let's go ahead and take it all the way up here. And that's about what you get with this pedal. Now I'll show you what I mean with it all the way up. Just a quick little. Let me put it down into spring reverb. Are you hearing a difference? I mean, there might be a small. And that's, I mean, we're all the way up there. I don't know. But again, it's a cheap pedal. So let me go ahead and show you what happens. Now, you can take it. I'm not sure why you would, but once you get down below about 10 o'clock, it's almost not present in the mix. But once you take it over about 1 o'clock, let's go ahead and take the decay up all the way. There is it does sort of fade out, but it's harsh. I don't know. Now, let's go to about 3 o'clock on the mix. Now, this is the one place so I don't know. I really wanted to like this pedal because I like reverbs. I really do. I love Fender's spring reverbs. I love the reverbs in Fender amps. I always have. That's what I grew up with. That's really kind of what my ear is trained to hear. Honestly, the only reason I want reverb in a pedal to begin with is, well, I have some Marshall amps, and my Origin 50 has no reverb whatsoever, and my DSL 40 might as well not, because it never was a good reverb, and I've never heard anybody rave about the reverb in the Marshall DSL 40. Maybe somebody likes it, but to me, it might as well not even be there. And I'm always looking for a good pedal to give me the reverb sound in that amp that I want. I've been using the Digitech. I've been thinking about getting the Hall of Fame. I've heard plenty of nice things. I almost bought that when I bought the Digitech. But I'd really kind of hoped that for less than $40 I could get something that I liked in this, and it, in my mind, kind of missed the mark. You'll notice I didn't talk about the tone knob at all, because it literally does nothing. I mean, it does nothing. I couldn't distinguish a difference all the way down, all the way up, and I just didn't want to waste time with it. Again, the room and spring reverbs are pretty much identical. I guess if there is a difference, uh, going from room to spring is basically like taking your mix and your decay down just a hair. You get the same effect if you just do that. So these two positions here are interchangeable. It could be a two-way switch as far as I'm concerned. The shimmer isn't too bad. It's okay. You can definitely do better, but it's it's the only part of this pedal that I actually had fun with. So take that with however many grains of salt you need, but it overall, I really wasn't overly happy with that. I'm not sure I would recommend buying the Mugig Reverburg. Just very underwhelming. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and close. Not much more to say. I'll be back next week with another Thrifty Pedal Thursday. Haven't decided which one to go with. I've got a few more to do, so we'll decide. Anyway, remember, please subscribe, please ring the bell so you get the notifications, and always a thumbs up is great. Comments, always welcome the comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you've found a good budget-priced reverb, because I'm looking. This isn't the first one that I'm gonna get. I'll keep looking till I find one that I really like. Hopefully there is one for less than a gazillion dollars. That said, let's be good. Let's all just be good. Take care.